Are you
I never
serious?
thought it would. I never felt that it affected you. Now, you can stop right there. Because what I did, I thought that I was cleansing me.
And I needed to hear that. I don't think you realize that. I needed to hear whatever you thought, whatever you said.
I was wrong. You know, I should have been more sensitive to what you were about and what you were going through and what your expectations were of me. I should have been more sensitive to that, and I wasn't.
But you can't say stuff like that to me. And I'm not having a reaction to that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have an incredible conversation today. I don't even know how to, I don't know how to fix my face in order to have this conversation because it's one I've been wanting to have for a very long time. My good friend, well, I would say my best friend, Jasper Williams III is in the building with me. What up, boss?
Hey man, you didn't do it.
No, because I won't play around. I won't play around at the presence of a king. We're in a minute.
Let me just say, I honor that. I honor that title. I feel and see you as the same. Yeah.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, man.
Best friend.
Yeah, indeed.
Hey, man, we got him in.
Man,
we got him in.
We do. Who's the
him? We got him in.
Who's the him?
This brother, let me tell you something. When I was in North Carolina, in the dusty roads of Currituck, North Carolina, in the country, there was a show that came on BET every Sunday. They had pastors on. And this preacher came on, he had on looked like a shepherd's something on, and he was preaching this message called, I fell in love with a prostitute. Let me tell you something. We recorded it on VHS, and we played it over and over and over and over again until we memorized it. He's in the building today. He's a legend. He's a giant, and I'm so proud to have this conversation with him. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you're going to clap your hands when I say this, but I hope you do. Put your hands together for this dude, this king, this titan, Jasper Williams II. How you doing, Pastor?
I'm fine. To be here with you is a great feel for me, and I'm delighted.
Indeed.
You have quite a legacy yourself.
Really?
Just to start off. Oh, yes. Yes, you do. And I'm just delighted to be here with you and to have the opportunity to share this hour, this time with you and my son.
Yeah. When you look across the room and you see your son, call him Thirdum,
yes,
sitting there, what are your first thoughts?
My dad. Yeah.
Say more.
My dad is the first thought. When you ask me what are my first thoughts, I think about my dad, who is Jasper Williams Sr. He was quite a man. He always talked about how he saw me before he ever knew my mother. And I was raised on that. He always made me feel that I was special because he had seen me prior to even knowing my mother. And so when I look at him and think about the fact that he is my namesake, I think about the fact also that I am my dad's namesake, and that makes me think of him.
Wow.
Yes.
So your dad said he knew you or saw you before he even met your mother.
That's right.
So in other words, it was like he in the spirit he saw you.
That's right. Like God gave him a vision that he was going to have a son and that his son would be a great preacher and that his son would be a world's wonder as a preacher. I was raised on that. I started preaching when I was like 3 years old or so, but I preached my first sermon in the church on the second Sunday in August in 1950. So you do the math, you see that I preached the last half of the 20th century, and I have preached come the second Sunday in August of this year, 2025, will be the first quarter of the 21st century, which gives me a 75-year tenure of having preached the gospel.
Come on. Yes. Good Lord. You don't look like no 70. You look like you're 75, but you ain't no 75 yet. But I'm really grateful. I want to just kind of set the scene a little bit, because so today's conversation is really about legacy. We all are concerned about what our legacy is going to be. What kind of legacy will we leave? What will people say about us when we're gone? And I listened to you talk about how you, I'm going to say this, and I don't know if you would say this, that you were even greater in, name and what have you than your father. Is that safe to say?
No.
You don't think so?
I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
On a different kind of level, perhaps. But my daddy was a world's wonder as a preacher for his day. And I don't think that you can judge anybody outside of the time of which they live.
Mm-hmm.
And just as I may be whatever in terms of greatness as you see me in my day, he was that in his day. He was like the guru.
Yeah, I think what I mean is, as far as reach is concerned, would you say that you may have had a bigger reach than him, or would you say it was pretty much the same?
Well, his reach, he covered the whole Mid-South. When he was on a 50,000 watt radio station at that time, you couldn't be any bigger than he was.
Was it LOK or DIA?
DIA, WDIA. Right, man, you're something, boy.
I know Memphis.
No, you know a whole lot more than Memphis. Yeah, that's right. He was on DIA.
Yeah,
that's exactly right.
So, but your reach is worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
Is it uncomfortable to embrace that? Because when I look at it, I can say without no hesitation, your reach is significantly greater.
Mm-hmm.
And I would imagine that you would want the same thing for your sons?
Yeah, I would want his reach to be greater than mine in terms of me being national, as I see it, but him being international.
Wow.
Or universal, as you might want to put it. Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So Jasper, so your dad sees you and he sees his father. When you see your dad, what do you see sitting there?
It's going to sound redundant, but I do see legacy. But I see a different kind of legacy. I see a unique legacy. I believe that legacy, of course, is generational. So we get Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You start seeing the importance therein, even the laying on of hands, the transfer of the spiritual wealth. And I think that I don't know if you remember, you were celebrating, I think, 60 years of pastoring. I don't remember. But someone from the church asked me to write a letter for you to go in the bulletin. Mm-hmm. And I never forget what I wrote. I said, Dad, I'm standing on your ceiling. And I've wondered sometime exactly what that's looked like. But your question to him was very interesting. He says, Granddaddy covered the Mid-South or the South. Then Dad was international. Or excuse me, nationwide.
He's international. His word is national.
Yes, yeah. And the vehicles is what got me. Granddaddy was radio.
Oof.
And
Oof.
I remember there's a story I think that might be appropriate for this. That Granddaddy, whenever he came on the radio, you could walk in a neighborhood and never miss a word that he said because everybody had their radio on.
Really?
Yep.
Right.
You walk up the street and you never miss a word. And so to me, that's greatness. That's Granddaddy using the tool of the day. Dad, even before we talked, BET, one of the very few that had the foresight to see BET, and that continued to catapult his legacy, of which Granddaddy had passed along to him. And so now I look at him and I actually wonder, what will my legacy be? It's interesting, I just put a post up probably about 2 weeks now, and someone from Pakistan inboxed me, and we've started a dialogue. I don't know that my legacy will be seen like Granddaddy and Dad's, because the church landscape is changing.
Okay.
Yeah, and so, but I believe that my reach will be as significant as dad and granddad. Mine, I believe, is just coming at a different season. And so now granddaddy used radio, dad used TV. I've got social media and the internet.
And the internet, yeah.
And I'm working hard to leverage that and to take advantage of that. I know greatness is in me.
Yeah.
I absolutely am convinced that greatness is in me because of him and our generational line, my granddaddy. My grandmother, I don't preach like that, but grandmama used to say,
I could go to some clips now. Don't do that. I could go to some clips.
Nobody preaches like that.
Well, that's true too.
Poor invitations. But when I finished preaching my first sermon, grandmama stood up. She says, just like Reverend JW, he gonna be a crying preacher.
Ooh.
I cried my whole sermon.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Your initial sermon,
My first sermon. I was 9 years old. And granddaddy was a very sensitive, emotional man when it came down to preaching.
But if I can cut across.
Please don't.
One thing that I detected about you that I know my dad had was the ability to preach on the spot if you needed to.
Yeah.
You know, like when we were in church one time, I can't remember what was going on, but surprisingly, the situation called for a brief word, and you were sitting right next to me. And when they asked about preaching, I touched you. I said, "Who's going to preach?" You said, "I'll do it." I said, "You can do it now?" You said, "Yeah." And you got up and was as though it had been pre-planned for months. That was on the spot. Now, my daddy, my Uncle Buddy, my son Joe, I could do that. Now, I don't know where you got that from.
It's somewhere embedded in those genes.
But that goes to the element of greatness that all of us have that cannot be passed.
That's good, Dad.
From one generation to another, that you have to seize and see at the moment.
That's good.
That the opportunity is presented.
What I think is interesting, though, because again, I've exhaustively enjoyed your ministry because there's a certain way you talk, a vibrato that you have, the way you do your hands when you preach, when you're hooping, patting that foot, you know? And he noticed, he laughed at me, but that's okay. I saw you do this one time and it was a wrap. You, after you finished preaching, slayed the whole building.
I know exactly where you're going.
And now, whenever somebody say, KD Bo is in the building, I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna do just like this.
No, you not.
Yes, I am.
No, you not. You do that. It's not going to.
That's all right, KD. Thank you for that.
But I think that there's a certain regality that y'all have, the Williams, whether it's how you speak, how you preach, it's in your tone, it's in the touch that you have. I think that level of greatness has passed to different generations. However, to your point, it's all different.
Yes.
I don't know Uncle Buddy. I've never have I met Uncle Buddy?
No.
I don't know your dad.
Yes.
But I've never heard him preach. But I can only imagine that I have, in a sense, because I've heard you preach, and I heard Joe preach, and I heard you preach. So there's something in the spiritual DNA. I just want to ask you what it is, and I don't know if you don't have an answer to that makes it so unique.
Well, I think you've hit on something. It's something that you can't say what it is. It's you, and that's why it's DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. I think
I don't know, but it sounds about right.
Is the reason for the acronym, and everybody has that. It is that specific something that makes you that no one else has.
Even when I hear Jasper talking about you specifically, you have a constitution about yourself that you know what you want, and you know exactly that you're not going to be denied what you want. He's got a little bit of that too.
Right.
He's got a little bit of it too. I listen to him. Sometimes I'm talking to him on the phone.
Yes.
I'll be like, hey, you look like your dad. And start laughing.
Yeah.
Where did that come from? That determination, that moxie, so to speak?
I can't say where it comes from because I don't really know. But I know that God gives us all something that makes us different from everyone else, that no one else can have but us.
I know Jasper told me, no. Jasper told me, and I heard you talking about it in a message one time, that you, when you started preaching at a really young age, you kind of took the nation by storm, or the region by storm.
Mm-hmm.
What was it that made you say, I want to be a man of God, I want to be a preacher? Did somebody say that you were going to be that, or did you hear God say it? I know what you said to your father because you said it, but can you tell that story?
Well, I don't think that being called to preach is anything that you have to hear or anything that somebody says about you. It's something I had to do. And sometimes the real calling comes from the process of doing the do. You know what I'm saying? You don't really know what it is. Whatever the element of greatness was that was seen in me in the earlier years, I can't tell you what it was.
When we talk about legacy, do you think that your dad would have loved for you to kind of step into that role and just let him get a chance to retire? Or if that's what he did?
Right on it. That's exactly what he wanted.
Really?
He wanted me to come to Atlanta, go to Morehouse to be educated, get a master's in theology, come back home and be co-pastor with him.
Really?
That was the plan. And for you to say that, there again, I see you in a different light. You got special on you, you don't even know.
I appreciate it.
You really do.
I appreciate it.
And so, but see, that's what my dad wanted. But I didn't want that. I wanted to leave home and get my own church.
Really?
Yes.
Can you tell me why?
Because I wanted to be my own man. I couldn't stay home and live under him. That's why I couldn't get mad with him when he wanted to leave my ministry, because I understood. You know, I knew that it was something on the inside of him that was making him want to go. And the worst thing that I could do was to stop him. So,
you think he wanted to go?
Whether he wanted to or didn't, he told me he had to start his ministry. And I was not going to deny that.
That's good. Wow. And that speaks to you. And I mean, this is an incredible dude here. I mean, that's what I've come to know, but this is your son. But for you to allow that to happen, it speaks a lot about you. And I can go there a little bit more. But let me ask you this. Did you want to go?
No. I did not want to leave Salem.
So the difference is that you wanted to be your own man, your own church. You didn't want to, but you what?
I heard God. I heard God tell me that my assignment was up. I don't know if you know this, but it took me, only Alicia knew, it took me almost a month to talk to you.
Really?
When I heard God say that, I wrestled and wrestled and wrestled and wrestled. That was my best friend. You my best friend now. That was my best friend. I still feel like there are components of that.
Your best friend?
Yes.
I just want to make sure. You never said it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, y'all heard it. Go ahead.
And man, me and Dad were tight. You saw him, you saw me.
That's right.
That sermon I was telling you about, that I saw you in Detroit, I'm on it. I'm sitting right over your right shoulder in the choir stand. There are preachers and everything there. And you always did that. Whenever I walked in with you, you make somebody give up your seat, give up their seat, And that's what me and Dad were. I wanted to be with Dad so much that I went through college with no credits. Into my freshman year at University of Georgia, I didn't have enough credits to be a sophomore. And I still graduated in less than 3 years because my wish and desire was to come along and to help Dad and to be in ministry with him. So to answer the question, no, I didn't want to go. But I know that I knew there was no such thing as partial obedience.
So what's interesting to me, bro, is that God didn't, he didn't tell you what was about to happen. You're working this hard to get back to Dad.
Uh-huh.
And he didn't tell you, he didn't give you an inkling that he was about to flip things up a little later on.
Nope. And actually, when he spoke, I didn't know what it was. Me and Alicia were doing a lot of couples ministry. We were doing stuff for 102.5. We were doing cruises for 103 Joyce Littell. We were doing stuff with senators that were being invited.
Oh, wow.
We were co-presenters. Bishop Joseph Walker, presiding bishop at Full Gospel Now, he would bring us in, and Kevin Adams. I mean, it was starting to catch hold. And so I didn't know if God was if the anointing and the blessing was to be there, or if the anointing and blessing was going to be in starting a church. I did not know when I told him. You remember you told I remember when I told you we met on a Monday when nobody was at church, and I called you that morning. I said, Dad, I got to talk to you. Well, all right. Well,
first of all, he mocks you. So the way he mocks you, I mean, it tears me up every time. He sounds just like you. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
Well, let me see. I'm at home now. You want to meet at the church? I said, that's fine, Dad. Well, what time? You tell me, Dad. And when I told him what the Lord was saying to me, he leaned over. Dad has his way of popping his knuckles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you find your way.
Really?
Mm-hmm. He sure did.
Wow. So when you remember saying that?
Vaguely.
Okay, because I'm thinking, because you say it, this is the first time you're hearing it.
Mm-hmm.
And you just said, not, hey, son, stay. Because you heard no, it was God. And I get that. We covered that. But you said, I'm going to help you. Is that what you wanted to say?
No, I wanted him to be with me. I had it all laid out.
Man, wow.
No, I didn't want him to go.
Wow.
By no means. I wanted him to stay. I had it all laid out where he was called vice pastor, and Joseph was called pastor. So I was senior pastor. He was vice pastor. Joe was pastor. Had all that laid out for them. You know how you want to provide for your children.
Yeah.
That was it. But when he came to me and said what he did, I knew that he had it figured out some way or another, that God and he had come to that conclusion, and I knew the last thing that I was supposed to do was stand in the way.
If your dad had said, this is a tough one. This is a tough one. You know I got to ask you.
Yeah.
If your dad had said,
Don't go. Yeah. Well, I did say, I wish you wouldn't do that. Mm-hmm. Right?
I remember.
Yeah. I really wish you wouldn't do that, son. But when he responded the way that he did, I knew there was no need of even thinking about that part, that it had been thought through, and he had kicked it around and talked it over with his wife, and they had made a conclusion about it. And the last thing that I was supposed to do was be a hindrance. Mm-hmm.
I remember, let me add this. I remember that in my growth into manhood, even since we started the church, first, there's nobody I'm more intimidated by than you.
Okay.
And I think that whenever I'm around you, that there's this part of me that reverts to the young man, the boy, even as the vice pastor, because your presence is so big and there's something on your voice. And I've seen you get upset and mad with people. And there's there's nobody I can think of that I revere more than you. And so when
Can I pause for a second?
yeah.
He's absolutely telling the truth. I saw a video of you guys interaction one time. I don't even know what the video was, but I saw a video of y'all interaction. And I said, Jasper, bro, you're like a kid. He said, what you mean? Bro, you I'm like in front of your dad. You like a whole kid. You don't see that? Well, maybe I do. He saw it. He didn't want to tell me he saw it.
I see.
I just think that I want to echo that.
I understand.
Your personality is so big and capacious and just, it's not in a bad way,
I understand.
but it's just awe-inspiring. I don't want to sound like I'm fanning out here, but I want to give you your flowers while you're here, because when I'm with him and I'm talking about you, oh yeah, man, we sound just like we both fans. But anyway, go ahead. Just finish what you're saying.
Yeah, so there was a time that I knew I had to have a conversation with him. And it came from, so I've expressed clearly my love for Dad today. And I've heard Dad express his love for me. He just said, I didn't want him to go. That we had it all figured out. In that, so I'm gonna say two things. So one is him letting me leave, but the other thing is how it all happened. So my conversation with you, I remember we talked about an hour and a half. I came down to your apartment, came up to your apartment, and I just had to tell you some things. And I didn't realize there were some things you had to tell me. And I remember we're going and going. I think it was the first time I ever said, Dad, I got to finish. It was some stuff I was talking about. And I said, when I left and such, you said, no, stop. Now, I didn't want you to leave. He said, I said, what? He said, I didn't want you to leave. And then when Dad cried, one tear fills up in that corner.
Wow.
He said, I didn't want you to leave.
Wow.
And his voice trembled a little bit.
Ooh.
And I said, say it one more time for me, please. He said, I didn't want you to leave. He said, I wanted to go after you. I wanted to grab you. I wanted to bring you back.
Yeah, man.
But I knew I had to let you make your own choice. And I can only imagine that would have looked like I didn't want what you were preparing and what we had talked about. And that wasn't it. For me, it was being obedient to what I knew God wanted me to be. Now, I will say that our love for each other, first of all, was dual. It went both ways. But the second thing I'd say is, at least for me, I had to handle my emotions, not just my obedience.
Say that a different way.
So Dad's freedom, his will, his not getting in my way happened. But there were some places, and over these past 19 years, that I've had to delve into my emotions about it. Yeah. So Alicia even would tell me, your dad is the only somebody you treat like that. And she was talking about, I'll back down. When I'm in Dad's presence, I would say was, and even now, there's a respect I have for him.
Still now.
Yeah, but it's got a little different something on it.
It feels different.
Yeah, it does.
It feels more like
always be my father.
like a peer.
And yes, that's it. I see myself as a peer.
Yeah.
A peer to him, but an understudy as well.
Okay, I hear that.
Jeez, man.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, man.
So in therapy, there are times and there are things and there are moments that are uncovered that have hurt me that I never knew were hurting.
Okay.
And I have been able to reconcile some of those things.
Mm-hmm.
But I always chalked it up, that's Dad.
Mm-hmm.
That's Dad. That's Dad. I don't know what the case was. I had two questions. One is about Granddaddy. You and Granddaddy, y'all's emotions that was expressed. But since I left, this could be putting you on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
Since I left, over the time, how did he, I've never asked you this, how were you affected in your heart, in your emotions? Was it something that you had to get over? Was it something that, I don't know, I think that's the question. How were you affected?
Well, I don't know how I was affected. I just knew that I had to keep preaching.
Mm-hmm.
I always was raised and felt that anything that happens in life, I preach my way out.
Mm-hmm.
So the biggest hurt of my life, when my son left what I thought I had in place for him, the only thing I knew to do was to preach my way out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I did. I knew that if anything come up in your life and you needed me, I was supposed to be there. That if I had a dime, you had it. You could never ask me for nothing and I never would respond. And so hurt or no hurt, all I knew, preach my way out.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you left that day, I began to think about what I needed to do. And so I fixed it where the people could see me telling them that you were no longer going to be there when they got to church the next Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
on the video in the vestibule lobby of the church.
Mm-hmm.
And just went on, preached.
Mm-hmm.
But not because I didn't miss you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just felt I was doing what I had to do to allow you to be and do what you needed to do and be.
Mm-hmm. Do you see any dynamics between me leaving? Oh, that's interesting. I always say I've been saying I left you and not Salem.
Mm-hmm.
It's two different entities. That just hit. Do you see any dynamics when Granddad realized you weren't coming back home emotionally? Or do you see anything between you and Granddaddy that could parallel between me and you?
That's what I wanted to know too.
No, I didn't see it like that.
Mm.
If there is such a feeling or such a thing, I'm totally unaware of it.
Mm.
And I was unaware of it at the time.
Yeah.
But I can't put my finger on that at all because it was two different situations. And yet, in a way of speaking, it's synonymous.
Mm-hmm.
Because just like I had things planned for you,
Mm-hmm.
he had things planned for me.
That's what I see, yeah.
But it was like a different kind of thing.
Sure.
But yet the same, in a way of speaking. That's all I see just sitting here now talking.
Mm-hmm.
But you said that there were emotions that were revealed to you
Mm-hmm.
that you haven't had closure to?
Mm-hmm. I've gotten closure in what I know is there, and that's happened in therapy.
Okay.
There may be something else.
Is there anything, I was about to ask, is there anything else or is there anything about that particular something that you need me to respond to you on or about?
I can't honestly say yes. I mean, and I can't honestly say no.
Okay.
I'll tell you how it comes. For me, there's a pattern that gets expressed that I got to figure out why is it there. And I've done so much therapy until my self-awareness is really high.
Mm.
And sometimes it may be something that drives or points back to you that I'm able to now more quickly handle. Let me just say, this isn't something that happens all the time, week to week or month to month. The mental illness piece that I've had to wrestle with has also been hugely impacting in my emotions, in how I carry out my day. the internal. But I don't want you, and I don't want anybody else that may see this to think that you've ever been the topic of conversation in a situation with what I've dealt with when it comes to mental illness. That I've never
I don't know that
breached in any kind of therapy. It wasn't you. My therapist and my psychiatrist, they've said my brain is just different. The way I think, the way I interact, the enzymes that are there. Nobody's ever pointed to you being the source of the mental illness, the journey, the trek there. Never. I wouldn't lie to you. I think you know that. So when it comes down to addressing anything, no, Dad, I can't think of anything.
Well, if I was a cause or a part of whatever, I'm totally unaware. And if there's anything that I need to do, say, or be to help you get beyond where you think you ought to be, I'm willing. And I don't know nothing else to say.
Man,
I mean,
means
whatever I can do to help you with where you are to regain what you need, I want to give it to you.
I'm going to tell you how you have been instrumental, and you may not even know it. But you know, when we talk, and it's been like this since I've been gone, when we would talk, I say, well, Dad, such and such is that. I'm going to give you one example. When we were making the decision that we made to stop pastoring in a traditional way, you said, well, now, Thirdum, this is what I would do. You going to say da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But you your own man, and you got to make that decision. And there have been more than one time that that's happened. And I needed to hear that. I don't think you realize that. I needed to hear whatever you thought, whatever you said. Dad, I think that any son needs that kind of legitimization from their father.
Yeah, bro.
And that was important to me.
Okay. I
That
know
was
you
very
got to
important to
find your
me.
own way, son. You got to find your own way. And I'm here to help you find your own way. And if something points to the fact that I was wrong about something, and I see it, I'm going to be the first somebody to tell you I'm sorry. But you show me, but that's why I always put the horse back on you. You know, you your own man, you make your own decisions, and I just support what you do and say.
Yeah. You call me, you say, when we would talk after whatever the matter was, so how'd it come out? And I tell you, well, that's good, son. That's good. I think you handled that in a super fantastic way.
Fantastic way.
But I want to say this I don't know where your next question may be. But I'm the same way. If there's anything that I've done that you didn't understand, that was hurtful, that felt disrespectful, I've wanted this a long time and nothing comes up. But I would be just as quick as you would if I knew it.
Okay.
To bring some kind of perspective to it. Or, because, you know, we can do certain things and it's really not that way in the other person, and that's me and you both. Or give some context or some more that was there. But even then I'd be quick, Dad, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. That wasn't my intention. And I think that's peer stuff. I think, as you said, I'm gonna put the horse back on you. I think me saying that to you, I don't know that once upon a time that I would have been able to own something other than by way of groveling.
Ooh.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
Dad, please, Dad. I didn't mean it. please, I really want, if you say I'm, a groveling sense to try to rectify it. Now it's like, let's talk about it. And if you don't hear it, I imagine you the same way with me. If I didn't hear it, all right. You're always my father.
Mm-hmm.
And I always love you. And I can always respect you.
Do you feel you need to ask me something on the other side of what you're saying?
Let me think.
Do I need to expound on anything?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. This might sound corny, but the cross has done so much for me. And maturation as a man has done so much for me. For me to sit here with a clean heart and a clear mind, not to hold anything back. We were talking, Katie says, no, whatever comes up that you don't want or your dad doesn't want to be seen, we cut that out. And there's nothing I can say that I wish that you would say.
Well, let me tell you this, Thurden. I'm sitting here trying to think of some of the worst moments and the best moments. The best moment that I had that you probably would never guess in a million years.
All right.
Was when I was in treatment for drugs. And you and your brother came to the facility where I was housed. And the way you received me.
Are you serious?
I knew you never would have thought that. No. The way that you received me and the way your brother received me. Ooh. And neither one of you ever said a damn thing about feeling disappointed with me because I had let you all down being in treatment. That was the greatest moment of my fatherhood, of my fatherliness toward you all that I can remember. And looking at you now, I know you never thought that because you never paid it any attention. But that meant more to me than anything else in my whole life with my mama, my daddy, my sisters, and you all, that moment. I knew then that you loved me.
Dad, you can't say stuff like that to me. And I'm not having a reaction to that. First, because of the surprise behind it. But I never would have, I never could have, I don't think, judged you. And I think maybe it's because I've always just wanted to be there for you.
I know.
And even in my heart, there was no judgment.
I know. That's what I'm telling you now.
Yeah.
I knew then that you all loved me, really loved me. I knew that from that moment.
All right. So I ask you this as a follow-up.
Okay.
You mentioned about the drug addiction and treatment.
Yes.
You put it in your book. Simply Jasper. Wasn't that the title of your book?
Which, by the way, you never gave me my copy. Okay, throw that out there too.
All right.
Because you promised it to me.
I got it at home. There have been some things you promised me. Well.
We're not talking about them. We're talking about this.
Yes. All right. You were very detailed about your life. Why wouldn't you tell me that? Why wouldn't you give me a heads up about that?
Tell you a heads up about what?
About what you were going to write, what you were chronicling, because I feel like it affected me as well. As your son, I can't say you were supposed to do it the way I did, but if I ever wrote anything that I felt affected you, I would say, hey,
I didn't
look,
think
Dad,
it affected you.
Are you serious?
I never thought it would. I never felt that it affected you. Now, you can stop right there. Because what I did, I thought that I was cleansing me. I never felt that it was an imposition on you or your brother.
Bro, this is so good. This is so good.
Never felt that.
How did it impact you?
That's what I want to know.
Yeah, it's like I didn't know that the man that I loved, my father, had gone through this. And I don't think there would have been anything I could have done just because the era, my age, and even just who you are.
Yeah.
And so to be 40 something and to read that so surprisingly. I remember when you gave me the book, when I got the book, I was at the Acts conference.
Okay.
And you were releasing your book. And I got a copy of the book, got a couple of copies of the book. And man, I got to that point and I was like, huh? First, there was a respect I had that you would, I don't know, that I've always seen you literally try to get people, young preachers, not to walk down some of the roads that you've walked down.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the conventions when I was with you, you even apologized. I know the rings and the flash. Y'all don't need to do that.
Really?
I didn't know that I was making an impact on a generation, and I'm sorry. I remember you said that one time. So when it came down to me hearing about that, there was a sense of anger that I had. Why wouldn't he tell me? I mean, he didn't think this was going to impact me, or maybe I could have processed it with. I remember being angry with you about that. And Dad, God dog it, I think a lot of what I had to wait and spend time to address for myself has been, I'd say, that's just Dad. And I remember that was my conclusion about that. I got over it, and, that was just Dad. But it did make me mad.
Okay.
Not because you suffered it, but because I felt like I wasn't a part of your heart.
I get it.
That's what it was.
I get
You felt that you were close enough to me for me to share it with you, and I didn't.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, I hear you.
Mm-hmm.
And I was feeling that at the time that I was going through it, that this was something I wouldn't want to put on my sons. Mm-hmm. That this was something I had to get over on my own. I got into this on my own. I need to get out of it if I can on my own. Mm-hmm. And I never thought about it being a repercussion on you and or your brother at all. Mm-hmm. See, and perhaps that's where I was wrong, And I see that now, the fact that you're saying what you're saying, how I was wrong, I should have been more sensitive to what you were about and what you were going through and what your expectations were of me. I should have been more sensitive to that, and I wasn't. And it's too damn bad that right here, right now, all I can say is forgive me, because I really didn't know.
Done.
I really didn't know.
Done. I appreciate you saying that, but done.
Okay. Thank you.
I can just sit here for 1 minute.
Yeah, man, please.
I think that part of the anger, I never would have thought we'd be talking about this now with a microphone in front of us. I think part of the anger for me was how I felt disconnected from your heart ever since I left. And that, not that you weren't supposed, it's your life. You can say whatever you want to say about your life. But I think more, as I sit here, it was more about me having missed some we would have strategized on or talked about. And I think part of it was because I felt excommunicated from your heart.
No, I didn't never feel that way, son. I never, since we're going to be real,
Please.
I felt that my shit was my shit. You understand what I'm saying? Never wanted to put you in it. You know, it was my way of trying to protect you and your brother. And now as I sit here and listen to you, instead of protecting you, I was hurting you. But I was totally unaware.
Yes, I see that.
Totally unaware. If I had thought that talking to you about it prior to releasing it would have been an issue to you, I never would have done that. I would have done it totally another way.
Wow. That's just been you, Dad. You know, quick to see where you could have recalibrated repercussions. I remember even when you and Mom divorced, you immediately got me a therapist. And you said, because I know he cannot make this without
Help.
it affecting him.
Yes.
And shucks, I was 12, I think, somewhere around that time, 11 to 13, when you and Mom got divorced. So I know you would have done it.
Yeah.
You know, because all you've ever wanted from me and Joe was the best.
Yes.
That means a lot for you to apologize and give me even perspective on it.
Okay.
Yeah. And thank you. And forgiven.
Okay, thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes,
All right.
forgiven.
You know, I see I called you a Titan earlier, and I mean that. Yeah, I see a Titan sitting in front of me. And that Titan carries the world on his shoulders, on his back, and he does an incredible job doing so. But I'm gonna say this. I'm sitting here thinking about if Jasper, Thirdum, I don't call you Thirdum, but we'll do that, was going through something, and for whatever reason he didn't tell me what was going on. I get what he's saying. I would feel some type of way, because my love is the kind of love that says, I'm showing my love to you by helping carry some of that. You don't have to carry it on your own. Yeah, but this is my stuff. Yep. But when we create a covenant, that's my stuff too.
It's our stuff.
There you go. It was our stuff. So I get it, man. I so get it. And I understand you by saying, no, my stuff, I'm going to handle it. I got it. But I think this is a lesson for all of us, even you that's listening. You got people that love you, and if you let them in, no matter how filthy it is, no matter how bad it is, heavy it is, you let them in. Certain people, of course, not everybody.
Yeah.
Can't tell everybody. But you let selective people in, and you will feel a level of love by them just helping you and loving you by helping you. So, yeah. I get it. I didn't understand that part at first.
That's where the healing comes.
Come on.
Yeah, see, so like you're exactly right what you're telling them. Because if I had been aware of what he's saying to me now, healing would have been for me in my situation and for him way before now.
Wow.
So you all who are listening,
That's you right there.
You all who are listening and watching this production on today, I hope that whatever it is that I went through and had to go through to help you get to where you need to be has helped you. Whoever is knocking at the door of your heart that you know you need to let them in, open the door. Tell them, come on in.
Wow.
And don't be too small to say, I'm sorry.
But Dad, I remember when the Aretha Franklin stuff happened.
Yeah.
And how you were catching hell because Black folk didn't want to embrace the fact that you would say what you said about a Black man having to raise a son. That's a Black woman can't. And you start getting it from every which way. I remember that even though whatever I was feeling or had felt. I remember showing up. I remember preaching after I finished preaching. I told the church, I'm walking out of here. I'm not saying anything. I'm getting in the car and I'm going to go be there with my dad. And I remember slipping in the back. And all those reporters were sitting there. And I saw you. Dad has a way of doing his eyes. He goes, I knew you had seen me. And man, we had one of the best talks
After
that we
that,
ever had.
Sure did.
We had to have talked an hour.
That's right.
Third, I just thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Man, son, you didn't have to do this. But that's how I've been about you.
Yeah.
You ain't nobody gonna say nothing to me about you.
Right.
You know.
You always have been very, very caring for me.
Yep.
I remember when I left home when a little boy and forgot the checkerboard, and you got it to me some kind of way.
I had forgotten to put in your car.
Yeah, that's okay. That's the way it
I
was.
don't know what I did. I don't know what I did to get you the checkerboard.
But I want you to know, as I've expressed to you in private, I want to say to you in front of the whole wide world, I love you.
I love you
and
too.
ain't nothing I won't do for you.
I love you
and,
too.
And I just appreciate you being my son, and you've been a great joy to me my whole life since you've been in the world. Never gave me no trouble. I appreciate you very much.
Man.
I love you to no end.
I love you too, but I was too scared to get in trouble. You remember I bring my grades home sometime. This is one time Mama betrayed me. Mom, please don't tell Dad. Please don't tell. I'm sick and tired of this. And she called you and she said, put him on the phone. I said, hello. You said, Thurdham, you can't do this. Son, this is math. This is basic math. And you were Williams. You come from me. You got to be able to count, son. You got to be able to count. You got to be able to count your money. When folks sitting in front of you, you need to have a pulse on where the church is. You got to, and then you backed up. You my son. And you can do this. Whenever I felt, and I see today, whenever you felt like you were putting on too much pressure, you'd be quick to dial it back. Wow. As you've done today. Yeah.
Thank you.
Look, one more thing, Bo.
Yeah.
You always say what you just said when we hang up the phone. Son, if there's anything I can help you with, if you need anything, let me know.
Yeah.
Always.
I'm curious about what will you ask him? And I'm going to ask you to ask him something. What will you ask him to help you with? It's got to be something.
I can't put my hand on anything at this point. I've gotten so accustomed to trying to make it without him until that has been my battle to hope that I could get to where I didn't need him for anything.
Man.
You understand?
That's a strong statement.
But it's the truth.
I know.
Yeah. It's when he made the choice to leave, I had to do something because I depended on him too much. I depended on him a whole lot more than I think, as listening to him, that he's aware of how I depended on him. That's why I wanted him to be the vice pastor so that he would take things over when I became incapacitated or whatever the case would be.
Sure.
And so when he opted not to, then I had to find my way. And there's no need of me finding my way and he's not there. And I was not going to go beg him. You know?
I believe it. What does begging look like? What would begging look like?
That's what I'm talking about.
It was just
I didn't want to find out what it looked like.
He just knew he wasn't going to beg.
Yeah.
You heard those saying, too proud to beg.
Too proud to beg. Well, yeah. I wonder if it would be, I don't think it would, you'd have to beg though.
Yeah,
I think it would just be a request.
Well, I wasn't requesting either, because he had to make his own choice. So I knew he had to have a reason
Yeah.
for whatever it was, and I had to be all right with that.
You think it could be both and either, as opposed to either or?
It could be both.
Yeah.
Excellent point.
Yeah.
It could be 1 + 1 = all, or it could be either or. I hear that.
I ain't never said it like that. Good God. I got to remember that one. Yeah. I see the love between a father and a son, and it's incredible. I think about my own father, and just listening to y'all talk, it lets me know that a lot of stuff falls between the cracks of what I thought, what you thought. But when you finally get together and you discuss it, you realize that there's a love that both of you have, me and my father, we have, that I put a whole lot of story on, and I filled in the blanks with my own narrative that just didn't exist. It didn't exist. So as we wrap this up, I'm just really full here. Let's forecast a little bit. Let's vision cast a little bit. You, like I said, being the Titan that you are, can you look at Jasper and just tell me what you see from today moving forward? And it's as if your words would write that check and make it a reality.
Okay, son, let me tell you what. I think that to help us move forward and not run into the difficulties that we have experienced before now, just be straight. I'll be straight with you. I promise. And I would imagine you'll say the same thing with me.
Of course.
And we'll find our way together. Would that work for you?
Of course. Yeah, and actually I think that we may have accidentally started down that road. And I do believe it has been a coming of age for myself to realize I do have a voice, and to realize that you have ears that you hear that come from my voice. I feel like you respect me in a different kind of way than probably than I could even see.
Yeah. You've been very independent, Thurden. You haven't pressured me about nothing. You've been a responsible man.
Thank you.
Hell, I can't ask you to be nothing and do nothing more than you've done. And then you are. No. Whatever your request is of me, it has to be yes.
Can you return the favor for your dad as far as what you see?
Yeah, I'm sitting up here looking, and I keep seeing these words legacy. And I have a legacy because of him. And it's more than just being his namesake. So my son, Jasper IV, better known as Quad, he's my namesake, but there have been my values and me and Alicia's values, and even my model as a man that allows my legacy to be reproduced in him. Quad doesn't want to be in ministry. He's I
don't blame him.
But he wants to be a pediatric surgeon. He loves kids. And I think that Quad will be hugely effective in dealing with families and the anointing that's on his hands and the blessing of presence. But that's my legacy and a part of it. But I couldn't pass that down to him without what you've passed down to me. And I would summarize it by saying that, yeah, there's a natural legacy that's there, but there's a spiritual legacy that's there. I don't know if I should go on the record to say this, but it's funny. While being married, I treated our household like you treated you and mama. And I would, this has come up in therapy. I would always make decisions by myself, and it would always get done. And I started thinking one day, where did that was Dad.
Mm.
We weren't going to go without. Dad met not only needs, but wants and wishes. And that passed down to me about how to take care of a woman and how to take care of your family. And there have been so many other ways. Somebody pointed out to me, I was speaking somewhere. They said, you sound exactly like your dad. You know, so the intonations, the genes, the epigenetic stuff. I don't know if you see it or not, but I received that as a part of your legacy that I get to inherit. Those generational blessings, starting with granddaddy and even further back. And even in the mistakes that you would call them, I've been able to redeem those or try so that Jordan nor Quad would not have to embrace or calibrate elsewhere. Because that man right there, I'm pointing at you with that finger.
Oh, okay. I see.
That man right there has made an indelible print on that other man right there that'll
Okay.
never be erased.
All right, son. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you. And
Yes,
I
sir.
love you and appreciate you and all of you, you know, who watch KD continuously ongoing there. I appreciate today. Today has been a day of blessing, but beyond that, a day of healing for me and for my son on today. I'm trying to think of two big things that I can compare how I really feel about what you have done for us on today. And the only two big things that come to my mind to say is that I'm elephant glad and whale proud. Thank you.
Love y'all both.
Love you, man, and thank
Indeed.
you for today.
You're very
Boy,
welcome.
you know I love you.
Indeed.
Yeah.